So we're live.
We're live. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just had the privilege of bumping into this awesome gentleman just outside a coffee shop. And the way it happened was there were four of us, or four people, all on their phones, and me also on my phone. And this guy stopped us all in our tracks and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Everyone's on their phones. No one's talking anymore. What are you doing?" So I kind of suggested that we're all texting each other and playing social media games. But it's so true. We're always kind of on our phones these days and not actually present. Anyway, I decided to just start talking to him because he seemed like a lovely gentleman. And
correct.
And correct. And after a while, I was talking about what I was doing, and this is before he revealed who he is. And he took a real interest in health and nutrition. And he said something along the lines of, "I'm going on 90, and what do you put it down to?"
Attitude, humor, quality food, vitamins, giggling, just enjoying the moment, and it's all in there.
Amazing, amazing. So I'm going to now introduce you who he is. So this is Joe Turkel, and he is the only living actor to have acted in 3 films produced by Stanley Kubrick.
Directed.
Sorry, directed.
No,
sorry,
all
produced.
right. You're
Directed.
fired.
I'm fired. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, and he's acted alongside Jack Nicholson in The Shining,
Kirk Douglas, Paths of Glory, and too numerous to mention and too many. And that's why I retired.
Very cool, very cool. And I offered to buy him a coffee, and he refused because he said I was pouring him with coffee.
Actually, he stopped me. He recognized me. He offered me $150,000 to do this interview. I said yes.
You're welcome. So, yeah, I have. It was only after talking to him for about 15-20 minutes that I realised who he is. And very cool. It's an honour to be with you.
My pleasure.
So, or to be interviewing you. So, back to what do you put longevity and vitality down to? One of the first things you said was, before I said what I really was doing, you said one of the most important things in life is nutrition.
Nutrition, no question.
So
no question. What you eat, you are what you eat.
You are what you eat. We all know it.
Yes.
We all know it. It's so true. So what do you do every morning?
Well,
this is a microphone, by the way.
In the mornings, I used to make breakfast. I don't like to anymore. As a younger man, I made my own breakfast when I was working. But now I go out and I have eggs. I have cottage cheese. I have fruit. And I have 2 cups of coffee. And that's a pretty good breakfast. I don't drink coffee ever for the rest of the day. Only in the morning with breakfast will I have a couple of cups of coffee.
Very good.
And I take my vitamins. I make sure I take 17 vitamins in the morning, and I take 8 in the evening, both with the meal, the breakfast meal and the dinner meal.
This is what really grabbed my attention. This is like a ritual you have every single morning, isn't it? You take this full spectrum of vitamins, or vitamins if you're in the US, vitamins.
Yes.
That really kind of boost the immune system. They're going to help to fight off any kind of inflammation. They really bolster the immune system. Most of us are completely undernourished in micronutrients because no one's eating enough vegetables, and or any vegetables at all. And that's why our immune systems become suppressed, and that's how inflammation builds up, and it kind of creates a breeding ground for disease, etc. So you make it a ritual to have these vitamins every day.
Vitamins every day, and I must tell you, I feel this, and I'm not saying this to pinpoint vitamins or I feel better about an hour. Feel better physically.
Amazing.
And emotionally, and I'm feel ready to go about an hour after I finish breakfast, when all the vitamins have had a chance to circulate through the body.
Absorbed. Amazing.
Absorbed, right, by the body. I just feel better, and I'm aware of it. And I said, gee, what if everybody took vitamins, and ate a better, it would be better for everybody.
Absolutely. And you have a lot of vegetables every day, don't you?
Vegetables.
You cook your own food?
Cook in the evening. I'm home early, and I cook dinner. And I have lettuce and tomato salad. I have broccoli. I have green beans. I have peas. I have a good vegetable thing, but I never, ever take red meat. I must tell you this, though.
Yeah.
Twice a year, maybe 3 times, I'll have a filet mignon. I'll go buy a filet mignon.
So when you say
steak.
never ever, except for 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times a year, right. And maybe at a ball game where they sell hot dogs, and I know I'm doing something that's no good, have a hot dog or a hamburger, what the hell?
And why not? You got to treat yourself every now and again.
And it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
The body digests it,
Yeah.
it's gone the next day, and on we go.
So normally you don't actually eat any meat.
Never,
You have
never
no
red meat, just turkey, fish, chicken.
Very
That's
good.
the staple.
And eggs.
And eggs in the morning,
Eggs,
right.
Yeah. Good stuff. It's good stuff. What were we talking about later on? We were talking about humor, vitality. Yeah.
Yes.
So being happy, it's your psychology, attitude to life.
Attitude is so important.
It's huge. It's huge.
When you see somebody angry, excuse me, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother with anybody that's got a problem. If you'll notice today, people say, no problem, no problem. Of course there's not a problem. When I say thank you, he answers no problem. Where is the problem? There's none. Why presuppose a problem?
Yeah.
My thing, I say thank you. His should be, you're welcome, or my pleasure.
That's what we say in England.
You see that, but they don't do it here in the States. And every time
Yeah.
I get a kid that says, no problem, I stop him and explain what I'm explaining to you now.
Yeah. There's never a problem. Why should there be a problem?
Right, why presuppose a
In
problem?
America, in Australia, they say no worries.
No worries.
And I found
Right,
myself
it's the
doing
same
that
thing.
as well. It's really cool.
Yes.
So yeah, attitude, your approach to
Attitude.
life, approach to problems,
Yes,
psychology, huge.
that's right. Listen, I know I'm going on 90.
So you're 89. You've just passed your 89th
89th
birthday.
and I'm going on 90. Now, I know I've got maybe, I don't know really, a couple of years left, hopefully.
You seem to have a lot of energy and vitality and life in you right now.
Well,
I think you'll have way more than a few years.
That's
I
the
believe.
food. That's the food and the vitamins.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people who eat hamburgers every day,
Yeah.
hot dogs every day with that, and the cheeses.
Recipe for disaster.
Oh, recipe for the end of your life early.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And you move, don't you? You move.
I try to move. I don't move or run as much or walk as much as I did 5-10 years ago. I became aware of my advancing age 2 years ago, in 2014. I got shingles, and then I hurt my back, and I felt age starting to work its way. And
Right.
so there's nothing you can do. Age works its way, and I'm feeling worse slowly as time goes by. And I have a few years left. I'll do the best I can with my grandchildren. That's the love of my life now, the grandchildren.
I absolutely believe you will. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
So your life's about them.
Now,
You're
yes.
Yeah. Your family.
Oh,
amazing.
yes. And I'll tell you a funny thing. When I was married, I'm not married now, unfortunately. It's no good to be unmarried. But I'm not married. When I was married and we had our children, I got up for the 2 o'clock feeding. I adored it.
Amazing.
And I would yell at him, what are you yelling for? What are you screaming for? He was 3 months old, screaming and yelling. You wake up the goddamn neighbors, I would use. Oh, God. And my wife in bed would be laughing and carrying on when I'm trying to communicate to a 2 or 3 month old baby. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And when I gave him his bottle, boy, he took it and he knew that when he heard my voice, it was comforting to him. And that was nice.
Right.
That was nice.
So you're very much involved within the first
What have I got
few
left?
months. Yeah.
I mean, I don't date. Maybe I should. But where does an 89-year-old guy go?
I used to have a dating site, actually. I could have helped you with that.
No, that's all right. I mean, that part of my life is through. If a woman
No,
today,
it's never too late. It's never too late.
let me give you some
I can
advice.
introduce you to some people.
All right. If a 75, 80-year-old lady says, let's go out, I'm not interested. I
No?
want a 25-year-old lady.
Hell yeah.
Now, when I get a 25-year-old lady, forget it.
Right.
I mean, it's over. I'm 89, and I'm out with a 25-year-old. There's a reason she's out with me. If there's a buck or whatever it is, it's not because of my youthful good looks. I'm 89 going on 90. I have no desire for sex. No desire. That passes slowly. And
I can't imagine this ever happening.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell you what sex really is. and pay attention, you'll now know what the word sex is. Sex is the number that follows 5.
Okay. I see what you did there.
So I'm just
Yeah.
living out my life, catching, looking, observing, not missing anything.
And being present.
And being present and being politically aware and loving baseball.
Baseball.
Baseball is
Amazing.
the thing.
You've
I
got
have.
your passions.
Yes, baseball today and politics. I really enjoy politics. My
Fantastic.
father was politically inclined during the Roosevelt administration. Churchill, that era, the 40s, you know, when he was quite prominent, obviously, both of them.
We talked a little bit about politics, or not really politics, about the... I gave you a little history lesson myself, didn't I, earlier?
Yes.
And what was your reaction? I told him about why doctors are not trained in nutrition.
Well,
And it's... he kind of knew that we kind of... doctors... There's an understanding that there's a huge emphasis on drugs. Everyone kind of knows this, but no one really understands why. And I said the reason I push this so hard is because I think it's super important for everyone to understand why doctors aren't trained in nutrition. We kind of know it, but we don't know why. So when you know why, then it's much easier to kind of take control of your health and really kind of take full ownership of your body and your health and nutrition and everything else. So I gave him the quick, brief history lesson, which I may as well say now, because why not? I can do it in 2 minutes. So, 1800s and early 1900s, there were tons of natural practices in medicine all over America. There were medical herbalists, naturopaths, homeopathic doctors, various eclectic herbal type medicine doctors, Oriental, Chinese, and 2 Billy Big Bollocks, Carnegie and Rockefeller, came along and went, we don't have enough money, and oil and steel apparently wasn't earning them enough. And they decided to make for there to be one way with the whole medical profession, or industry, should we say, and they started manufacturing drugs. And the only way that they could actually start to distribute this was if they started to have an authority, if they could start to steer the medical industry. And what they actually did was commissioned this Flexner report of 1910. And what this did was it eliminated all competition to patent petrochemical education.
Amazing.
In layman's terms, this means it gave them free rein to steer the curriculum of what doctors were taught in medical schools. And they started showering hundreds of millions of dollars into medical schools that were educating about prescription drugs. And after a while, the American Medical Association came on board and started closing down medical schools that weren't pushing these doctors. And the donors of the Carnegie and Rockefeller Foundations would sit on the boards of directors of all these medical schools, steering all the medical curriculum.
That's terrible. The average American doesn't know this.
No one knows this. Let
me tell you something.
Can I just end that particular point?
Yes, go ahead.
So, by 1925, before 1925, it got to a stage where if doctors didn't actually graduate with a Flexner-approved degree, which is all about pharmaceutical drugs, he or she would not get a job anywhere. And essentially, it's kind of remained the same ever since. And by 1925, there were 0 homeopathic doctors left in the whole of America, and most natural practices had been shut down completely. And it's remained the same ever since. This is why doctors are not trained in nutrition. It's not even a question of whether they are or they aren't. It's a cold, hard fact that they are not trained in nutrition, because the entire medical industry is all about money. It's about disease maintenance, and it's about...
What a shame.
There's nothing about healing or curing. It's all about treating symptoms and never actually addressing the root cause of anything. And this is what it is. This is exactly as we know it today. This is the medical industry. This is why we live in a society with a cancer industry that's worth $130 billion, and a diabetes industry that by the end of next year is going to be worth $57 billion, and it's all down to money. Chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgery don't need to be used anymore. But I'm not trying to call myself a cancer expert. Anyway, I'm kind of going off topic, but we were talking about this, and you were quite amazed by that.
I'm assuming what you're saying is true. I'm assuming that you've put the time in to reinforce that what you are saying is true. And one fellow who is known by every American that walks today is Walter Cronkite, who died recently, a couple of years back. And Walter Cronkite once made a statement, and it rings true to what you're saying. And here's what that statement was, a sentence. The American healthcare system is neither healthy, caring, or a system. And I said, what did Walter mean by that? And that matches to what you're saying.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is something in what you say, which I'm sure it is, that could cure half the diseases and more than anything, make people feel qualitative and healthy and caring and joyful to be alive when most people are taking pills, as I'm taking them now, unfortunately. But I hope that you reap the harvest of what you're saying in people here, England, everywhere in the world. That food is the number one thing. You are what you eat.
Absolutely. When food is right, what's the thing I posted the other day? When food is wrong, medicine is of no need. When food is correct, oh fuck, I got that wrong. I just swore live on Facebook. When
you're fired.
Whatever. Oh well. When food is correct, medicine is of no need. When food is wrong, medicine is of no use.
Very good, very good.
So I believe the answer to all of this is education. If we all educate ourselves on how nutrition is either fueling disease or fighting it.
Where can one
There's a brilliant book called The Vitality Secret.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
I wrote it.
Okay.
And there's some other ones.
Not shy, is he?
There's there's 3 or 4 that I could definitely recommend. It's just phenomenal mind openers, like The Primal Blueprint.
Does anybody read these books?
Well, people, I guess I'm passionate about nutrition and fitness, so I read a lot of these things. I guess for other people in busy lives, I understand that people aren't going to have the time to kind of read these things. But there's a few books like The Primal Blueprint, Wheat Belly, Grain Brain. All of those are complete game changers in terms of how certain things that we think are healthy are actually not healthy at all, and how they trigger inflammation in the body. So yeah. Anyway. I'm surprised there's still people here. So this is a good one. So again, thank you.
My pleasure. I
enjoyed
it,
Joe.
I just hope more people will read your book. More people will not have hot dogs, hamburgers. More people like me. I don't have meat. I don't eat meat. I don't eat red meat. My basic at night is either fish, chicken, or turkey. Those are the 3 staples.
And you'll go organic when you can.
And I go organic always. I try to go to the organic section.
Yeah.
And maybe twice a year I'll have a filet mignon just to know that it's there.
Why the hell
big
not?
thing. Why not?
And do you have the occasional cigar as well?
No, don't smoke. Quit smoking
No.
Listen to this. I quit smoking I smoked for 40 years. I quit in 1988. And just 2 years ago, I had a doctor tell me, after taking a chest x-ray, and I'll give you the exact quote, Joe, your x-ray reveals you're never having had a cigarette.
No way.
That was it.
Wow.
Your x-ray reveals you're never having had a cigarette. I said, but I smoked for 40 years. And I've had such great friends die of cancer. Frankie Gorshin, the Riddler, smoked 10 packs of cigarettes a day. 10 packs? John Wayne smoked 5 packs. Jesus,
there's no time for oxygen if you're having that.
Correct.
Cigarettes.
But anyhow, that's the way it is. Eat right, and I quit smoking, and thank God I did. And let's all hope that humanity will survive. Human beings will be there, although we're a flawed species.
Oh yeah, we can all change that. I reckon we can all change that.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a quick question. What's it like acting alongside Jack Nicholson? What's Jack Nicholson
Sweet as
like?
sugar.
Yeah?
Sweet as sugar. Knew his lines. He had the majority of the dialogue in The Shining. I was the bartender, and he was Mr. Torrance, and he had the majority. I said, Jack, you want me to rehearse with you? Come on. He says, no, I got it wired, Joe. And he was, whenever he had to give off-stage lines, he was always there to give them. And I, for him, So he was a quality man. He's a quality man. He had habits like we all have habits. But as a quality man to man, he was sweet as sugar.
Very cool.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a legend, isn't he?
Isn't he?
Yeah.
40-year movie star.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Does anyone have any questions? Who's here?
What do you want to
There's
know?
a few people here. I don't know if there's any people actually still alive. Anyway, thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Mr. Cannon, you're a delight.
Likewise, Joe.
Take care.
Do you mind me calling you Joe?
Call me Joe. Joe and Neil.
Awesome. Cheers for watching, guys. See you next time. Oh, by the way, call to action. I'm holding a webinar on Thursday. Come along. It's on the page, Vitality Secret. I'm going to be sharing with you all the things that lead to disease, the stages of development that leads to disease, what suppresses the immune system, all this kind of cool stuff. So come along, join me. And I'll put a link below this. See you later.